Andy, welcome to InvestorStream and congratulations on your appointment. It sounds like Fremont is turning to someone that has a real understanding of the asset in Colorado. Could you give us a bit of background on your experience and expertise?
Thanks for having me on, Alex. I really am fired up by the opportunity to work with the new board of Fremont and the team here in Colorado, some of whom I know already, to realize the value of the Pathfinder Project. So, to your point, some background. I'm an Aussie and a U.S. citizen. I am a geologist by degree, and I've got about 40 years of oil and gas technical and management experience, both here and over there in Australia. I've built and run a number of companies, including ASX-listed Comet Ridge Limited, which you may know is focused on developing coal seam gas resources in Queensland, and Comet Ridge Resources, which is a kind of a spin-off of Comet Ridge Limited, which was a US-based private equity-backed company pursuing, in fact, the Pierre and Niobrara and various other reservoirs that Fremont's pursuing. More recently, I was founder of another private equity-backed coal seam gas company here in the Raton Basin of southern Colorado. I got a lot of experience in working here in this state and in the Rockies in particular. And by virtue of my time at Fremont Petroleum, which you may remember was a subsidiary of Western Mining Corporation, I'm very familiar with the Gulf Coast region of the U.S. I think I have some unfinished business in the Florence oil field where Fremont is focused. Comet Ridge Resources acquired a large acreage position to the east of Fremont and completed 23 of 26 wells that it drilled looking for just the same targets, i.e. the fractures in the Pierre Formation. We were able to build our production up to about 1,400 barrels a day from scratch. We always felt that production would and could be extended further to the west into the deeper part of the basin. But we were beaten to the acreage by Fremont or its predecessor, Austin Exploration. I'm also greatly intrigued by the potentially large resource in the Niobrara and deeper targets. We actually went into that area with the Niobrara in mind. So hence my comment about having some unfinished business.
So that being the case then, Andy, how do you rate Fremont's acreage position?
Well, the Florence oil field, which is what FPL calls Pathfinder, by the way, has produced over 15 million barrels of oil from shallow reservoirs, particularly open fractures in the Pierre Formation. And the way to think about it is the basin is literally like a big bathtub. Florence is the second oldest field in the U.S. When first discovered, oil was found at very shallow depths, and the reservoir drains just like your bath or a big swimming pool. But the best place to go look for more oil is where it's the deepest. So you can imagine that would be at the bottom of the basin. Fremont controls the deeper part of the basin. The trick is identifying the fracture trends, and again, they're open faults or fractures under the earth, and tapping into them as close to the bottom of the basin and of the reservoir as you can get. Now, the key thing is that Fremont has just shot more 3D seismic further to the west to where Comet Ridge had shot, and has traced known producing fractures, some of which Comet Ridge drilled, into the deeper part of the basin. And the upcoming multi-well Pierre drilling program will be focused on testing just those fractures in the best spot. So that in itself is kind of exciting. But from a big resource potential, you really have to look to the deeper Niobrara and deeper targets. I've worked at the Niobrara throughout the Rockies, including the Wattenberg Field in the Denver-Julesburg Basin north of Denver, northwest Colorado, and southwest Colorado. It too can be the same kind of reservoir, like the Pierre, i.e. open fractures and producing from a gravity drive reservoir. But it's better known as a really immense oil and gas resource play in the Wattenberg field. We need to better understand the hydrocarbon system that's active in the Canyon City embayment, i.e. the basin where the Florence oil field lies, to help guide future drilling programs. The Niobrara has been shown to be a reservoir of both oil and gas, and hence the focus of the company on developing pipeline infrastructure and a market for that gas is paramount. That initiative is ongoing. But it's comforting to see that a reputable reservoir firm like Gustafson Associates, with whom I am familiar, has recognized a significant contingent resource for the Pathfinder project. That should be of some comfort to our shareholders. I also suspect one of the old Comet Ridge team, Vanessa Lintz, who's Fremont's geologist, has much data and insight to share. Vanessa and I work together along with a couple of other geoscientists to generate all of the well locations that Comet drilled. So it'll be just like homecoming time.
Just finally, Andy, what do you see as the main challenges that Fremont faces?
Well, looking forward, we just need to do what we say and deliver and earn back shareholders' confidence. And that's a pretty tall order, but when you think about it, there's a new board in place. They've made some really hard decisions. It's working very hard to recapitalize the company and advance the commercial aspects of the Pathfinder Project with specific focus on that gas pipeline infrastructure and market takeoff agreement. And then we're going to refocus drilling on extending the success that Comet Ridge enjoyed further to the east from them in westward into Fremont's acreage. So really building the company's production and cash flow is imperative to it being able to advance its projects. I think that in the long run, finding a well-capitalized partner, securing a gas contract, and permitting and building those gas pipelines are all significant projects that the company needs to achieve to enable it to convert the real upside of this acreage. I'll be honest with you, the state of Colorado has enacted some regulatory changes which, while they're not necessarily difficult to comply with, have certainly lengthened the permitting process and imposed much tougher requirements on producers. And I know some of the shareholders are pretty frustrated by the wells are taking longer to permit, but I assure you it's not due to a lack of effort on behalf of the Colorado team. What this really means is that we just need to adapt to this new environment and start planning much further out. And the board has asked me to focus on that aspect of the business initially. And you're always at the mercy of the gas market. This year, due to additional volumes coming in some of the other shale basins and warmer than usual winter conditions, we've seen gas prices of less than $2 an MCF this January. This creates both challenges and opportunities. From our perspective, the challenge for Fremont is we need to sign gas offtakes that are economical and bankable in that low price environment. Conversely, those conditions may offer us opportunities to acquire properties, but we'll leave all those things until we get Florence up firing on all cylinders first and start showing the shareholders that, we've been telling you a long time that there's potential, and here it is.
Well, Andy, again, thanks very much for joining me. Congratulations on the appointment, and we look forward to seeing how your tenure at Fremont delivers for the shareholders. Thanks very much for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks very much, Alex.